guys, this is Helldozer from Zombieland Gaming, and I am on my Death Knight Helldozer in World of Warcraft. As you can see, I'm just running around. I'm not really doing anything specific today. I got three more things to do, three more chapters for Ready for War, and I've already done it on my Warlock, and my Destro Warlock, and my Hunter. So today I figured, what the hell, I'm not doing anything really special and specific. I just decided to just do a little stream while I'm doing this. I wanted to talk about Fallout 76. Don't really have a script, so I'm going to kind of bounce around a little bit and talk about my experience. Now, as you know, there was a lot of PC users kind of got boned that first night that beta was up for Fallout 76 because, well, just opening your launcher went ahead and deleted it off of your computer, and I was one of those people. I know that some people did actually get a chance to play it, but I didn't. I actually wound up leaving Raid to try to get in and do a little beta, but yeah, that didn't work out, so I went back into Raid. So the second night, I played the next three, as a matter of fact, and Sunday the 4th, yesterday, was supposedly the last day of it. Now, I did watch a video on YouTube where Pete Hines made a comment that there's, of course, somebody asked the question, is there going to be more beta? And Pete Hines responded with, of course. Now, I don't know what that means. I haven't gone to check to see if they've gone to extend the dates and times and all of that business. But as of this video is really only going to be about what I went through, some of the stuff that I did. Now, as I've said many times, I am a hoarder. I like to hold on to things, like to collect it, like to, you know, keep it for some point, some use, someday, somewhere, when you least expect it. I've got it on hand. That's going to be kind of a problem because there is a 400-pound weight limit on what things that you can keep in storage. Now, I don't know if that's going to change. I don't know. I don't think it goes up with more storage boxes you build. It would be kind of cool if you did. I didn't really think of that. But if it's only 400 pounds, that's kind of a problem. You can't really hoard stuff. Now, it kind of makes you trim down the weapons that you have, and you know, with being able to plant food and create your own food, stuff like this, you really don't need to hoard food. Not that you ever really did, but food and water does play kind of an important role. Now, food, you do have to obviously eat and drink. You can't just go on forever. And the game does warn you when you're getting thirsty and when you're getting hungry. But the food you can use, it stacks up and you can use it to create fertilizer, which I did not do because you can go ahead and plant your own crops. You can also drop create water spigots outside of your base to harvest up some water. So water really doesn't become a problem you know, once you get rolling. Early game, it seems like it could be, but there's enough in the starting area and around in a boot for you to go ahead and be able to pick that stuff up. That said, as far as the base is concerned, now, again, the base was kind of interesting in how it builds. The UI, everything is just a little bit different than what you're probably going to be used to in Fallout 4, but the feeling is still there. It's still somewhat similar. Like, it's not that hard to figure out. The one big new addition is the fact that you can blueprint whatever it is you're building. Now, you can blueprint just separate individual little items, or you can blueprint the entire base, which obviously is a good idea, because for a fee that goes up a little bit the more times that you transfer it around, your camp machine, so that you can transfer it around, you just can't build it near, you can't drop it near other buildings. So you have to build it out, drop it out in the world someplace. Now, one of the things that I kind of found out the hard way was, I was thinking about moving my base. I didn't like the place exactly where it was. and I'm kind of hope I'm going to make sense on this. Um, you have to have the same kind of contoured land, and what I mean by that is say you drop you build your base in like this little sunken area, and the guns, the turrets, and stuff are built up around um, on the ground, but the ground is uneven. Um, you have to find the same kind of contour land. Now, I don't know if they're going to change that to where your blueprint will, the guns or anything else will kind of contour to the land that they're going onto, if that makes sense. Um, but you kind of have to find like land wherever you want to drop this stuff. Uh, Respectively, maybe you could put the guns up on platforms, which is something I didn't do, and it would help with the contouring of land wherever you wind up trying to drop it next. But what you could do is just build a little base. Now, this is what I did. I just named my particular base crafting, and I just dropped 4 platforms. Put all 5 crafting: the Tinker's Table, Cook Station, Weapons, Armor, and there's one more in there I'm forgetting. But there were 5 on these 4. You saw the Chemistry Station. That's the one. There were all those did fit on 4 platforms, and that was much easier to go ahead and move around if you wanted. Once I made the blueprint, to go ahead and if I was out someplace and I just wanted to summon that. Summon the camp, pull that blueprint, bang, there you go. It would leave your original base wherever it was. You were just calling the camp for the blueprint. Now, you could, in essence, make little camps everywhere. And what I mean by camps, I don't mean the machine, but you could just build like bases everywhere, it seemed like. Now, I don't know how they're going to deal with that, because just like in Ark, it seems like there could be trolls that would just like drop a platform someplace just to troll, just to be a dick. Don't know if it's going to happen. But I am sure that you're not going to get on a server with 23 other really nice people all of the time, and they're not going to screw with you at some point. Because even though the stuff will disappear once you log off, while they're logged on, it's still there irritating the hell out of you. Now, the map is big. There is a lot of space. There is a lot of business going on in this map. And I did get out to go out, look around, run around, ride around, see what was going on. Saying hello to some of the wonderful creatures. And I can tell you that the AI is very smart. I was in Gafton, and there is an event in Gafton where I think it's the enraged Gafton Beast. He is the guy that you see in the for a couple of frames, the big ogre-looking thing with the giant hands. He's white with black shadows. There actually is an event to kill him. Now, when I was there, I was in Gafton. I walked in because you have to meet the mayor. You get a quest to go there. And spoiler alert, I'm going to give you with my chain talking here, a chance to go ahead, and if you don't want to hear this, kind of skip ahead. But the mayor is actually a computer. Everybody's dead, and he still seems to think he's running for office. And it is one of the places where, right next to the mayor, is one of the overseer's boxes. But he gives you quests to go and activate stuff, reactivate some stuff around the town, for tourist interaction and stuff. Well, while I was there, some super mutants decided to come on in, and the event started, and I was able to hold the super mutants off because I was inside of a building, and the beast couldn't get inside. They can't get inside buildings. So I was able to manipulate the beast into attacking the super mutants, and the super mutants attacking the beast, while I was attacking everybody. And they were trying to all attack me. So a couple of grenades and a box of bullets later, I wound up getting the beast down. He didn't drop anything. I didn't see his body. His body just disappeared. But the super mutants didn't take kindly to me and my actions of screwing with everybody. So while they were trying to storm the building, I was able to hold them off, but the AI, in my opinion, is very smart. They actually set up a trap for me, and they wound up killing me, waiting for me to come out of the building, and then they just unloaded on me from rooftops. So, unless you got to get a little strong in the game, but it's definitely interesting to see that it's kind of refreshing to play a game that's actually smart, that was built to be smart, that the AI is very interactive. Now, there were some bugs. I encountered one kind of really irritating repeating bug where it didn't matter on the distance. It could be up close, it could be far away, it could be whatever. But the mobs didn't always die to bullets. They would pass through them. Now, this was on headshots, this was on torso shots, this was on limb shots. So I'm kind of hoping that they're going to maybe get that fixed up within the next 9 days before release, because that's really kind of irritating. Another bug that I had was you had to go to, I cannot remember the name of the town, actually. When you're actually doing the tourism quests for the mayor of Grafton, you begin a side quest while you're at the water park. And in the water park, there was a little boy that had been kidnapped right before the bombs dropped, and security was working on finding him and all of this and that. And the Mr. Handybot asks you to see what you can find out, try to fix this, blah 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 blah. Well, 3 or 4 quests in, you wind up going back to this town, and the mission, I don't know, I call him the mission pointer. The thing that tells you where to go when you're in the specific building was actually pointing into a basement area. That's great, except for one problem. There is no basement. And this is located in a post office. So you look on the computer and there's a date. There's a couple of dates inside the computer. You need one of those dates to trigger for the next part of the quest. Well, I found on Reddit that if you go ahead and log totally out of the game, come back in, the pointer points to the computer. When you trigger the correct address, it triggers the rest of the quest. The third kind of irritating bug was you have to go to, and it was during this Bureau of Tourism quest, you have to go to this fort to fix a token dispenser. Nothing I could find online would fix this. I tried the log out, log back in thing, tried running away, coming back. Nothing I tried worked. It's the target pointer is there. You can clearly see it. It's on the machine, but you can't fix the machine. So the Bureau quest is actually kind of dead. There's nothing you could really do with it. There were a couple of other quests that were like that. I can't really remember them offhand. They weren't really that vital. It was just, it was beta, stuff was broken, and they needed to fix it. But there were a couple of updates during the beta that I thought was really kind of cool. So they were fixing things as they were coming in. So there's that. There are a lot of people that aren't really... Well, I don't know if maybe a lot is really the right words. There are people that aren't real pleased with some of the stuff that's going on with Fallout 76. The only thing that I can tell you is I like the concept, I like the idea. PvP, I will cover this because this kind of fits into here. If you're facing somebody that hits you, it takes off a very small amount of life. It's very small increments. It's not noticeable. It doesn't matter if they shoot you or whatever. But you get the option, it comes up with the player's name, that they're attacking you and this and that. As soon as you shoot them or retaliate, it triggers you also for PvP. And I got cut down with an axe, and it sucked. It's an irritating aspect of it because later on there was somebody shooting at me from the woods. It wasn't game breaking, it wasn't game ending, but again, if you retaliate, it's going to flag you for PvP in essence. One of the other things is that after you do get killed, you can carry on the grudge. You can, try to cause problems, or just get on with your life. I don't remember the exact wording, but that's what I remember it as being. I chose this just to get on with my life. It was beta. He was running around with a bunch of friends. I didn't feel like dealing with all that. I just wanted to get in beta, investigate, do whatever, and then get out. So I took my lesson and my ass beating and moved on with my life. I wasn't flagged for PvP anymore. After you die, it must revert you, so not everybody can just take shots at you. But when you do die, you leave like a little lunch bag behind. That's the best way I can describe it. And you go back and it's all your junk. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the same in live as it was in beta, but you do it appears that you just drop all of your junk. You still have your gun, you still have your armor, it's all equipped, all that business. But if you value your stuff, you might want to go back and pick up your bag. Since the game is revolved around junk for building and repairs and stuff. The other thing about building that I will mention, again, sorry, a little scatterbrained. You're building on a budget. Now, I'm not sure what the budget means. Like, what... It might revolve around your caps. It might revolve around the amount of resources you have. But as your budget grows, your base can grow. So you can't just go hog wild and all this business. You have to actually do it in kind of an ordered manner, which I don't mind. But again, it revolves back around to you're going to run into space problems in your storage. You're just going to run into storage problems because of the 400 pounds. Now, early in the game, there are a bunch of crafting stations all over the place. Train stations also have storage boxes, and these storage boxes are yours. They're linked to you, so anything you put in there, it's now your stash. So that was kind of cool. That I thought that they put the random crafting stations every place, so that you wouldn't run into personal weight limit. You could just crush your stuff, throw it in the box, and off you go with your adventure. That was a very good idea. That was a very nice play that they did on their part. Snaps for that. It's really not hard to build a lot of this stuff. Like, your early base is really not that hard. But again, like I said, I am a hoarder. I had a lot of supplies on hand. I was grabbing everything like a madman in buildings that I saw. And really later on, as I was playing beta, I just kind of backed off because I was running out of time. I didn't want to, I don't know if they're going to wipe the servers or if they're going to stick to their, well, since you built this far, you get to keep this, when the game goes live kind of idea. I thought it was a very enjoyable game. There were times it's a little stressful, causes a little anxiety. I mean, you're out there, if you're going to solo it, you can definitely solo it. There were places I was where there was no one around, and I really kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed, the hunt, the thrill of trying to survive and all of this. And then somebody would come run along, and I'm not going to lie, a couple of times I did get saved. Which is kind of nice. I didn't have to take another death and another run. So it had its benefits, but I don't think the game really deserves like some of the negative stuff, but that it's been getting. But then again, I don't know. I look for different things in video games that some other people might, and people don't look for the same things I do. So that's kind of my opinion on Fallout 76 beta. I really kind of hope that they make the improvements, they fix a bunch of the bugs. It's clearly had a lot of work put into it, and that's kind of cool. I just don't want the player base to be the ones that destroy the game, and it seems like it's going to be very possible for something like that to happen. You wind up getting the wrong set of trolls where you're playing, and boom goes the dynamite. Your player experience is going to be ruined. Now, I'm fully not going to even try to pretend about this. When private servers are available, I will be getting my very own private server the same day. I may play on the regular provided servers should some of my friends want to stay on them, but anybody I play with, I'm going to be offering, going to my personal server, my private server, because I just don't want to deal with the headache. Like, one troll is going to absolutely ruin it for people. And I do know people that you can kill them over and over and over and over and over again. It just doesn't matter to them. As long as they're causing maximum amount of damage for minimal amount of effort, it thrills them. I know I'm all up for good trolling every now and again, but at the same time, I don't know. There's just some games I really like, and I really like to get into, and this seems like one of those games that it's going to be possible in. I didn't really play a whole lot of Fallout in its history. I've played some Fallout 3 and some Fallout New Vegas, but Fallout 4 was when I really got into the whole Fallout thing. Some people consider that a bad time because that's when Fallout series may have changed for the bad because of the building and the having to have all the settlers and micromanage and all that. I personally like that. I understand people, not all people do. But I think that this might be a little bit of a combination of the two ways of doing things. So I kind of hope that it keeps going on the right path. That it kind of keeps going the way it's going. And like I mentioned earlier, I don't know if they're going to be doing any kind of extended beta. Pete Hines claims that there's going to be, but I don't know. Haven't found anything on it yet. So yeah, that's just my 5.5 cents worth of everything that went on in my experience. And I didn't stream any of my experience with it because I did download the confidentiality agreement, and I'm not going to even pretend about any of this. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. I got scared because I didn't want them coming and screwing with, my account. I didn't want to, get everything shut down because I wanted to get out there. Now, I know that there were people out there like Oxhorn that have been doing it, and Oxhorn has a ton of viewers, and I don't think that they would maybe be totally rude to him, but I could see them being hostile with somebody that's only got 23 subs. So I chose not to. Maybe I could have. I don't know. Just kind of a personal choice, I suppose. Look for shipwrecks somewhere to the east, apparently. Okay, do I have the Brian guy on my... No, I don't. Alright, that's sad. We'll have to find him. There he is. And there he goes. Not moving much faster, but I am moving a little faster. But when the game does come out, November 14th, I am absolutely for sure going to be streaming. Again, I kind of hope that they do reset the servers. I would like this like a fresh start. I mean, it's not like it was like a, ARC's kind of thing where you had, 150 million dinosaurs in your base and you had a giant compound with guns and cannons and T-Rexes, oh my. You just kind of got stuff done and off to the races you went. So I could see them resetting everything, flushing everything out. But again, my opinion. So and something else I guess I wanted to talk about too, now that I'm thinking about it, is the weapons. You will kind of outgrow weapons kind of quickly. But then there's other weapons. I got really lucky. Oh, that and the cards. See, I'm glad that... Okay. So, your skills. For some reason, the ability Lead Belly loved me. And I was able to get a 3-stack of Lead Belly. Which, a 3-stack, I believe, cuts down radiation from water by 30%. I believe that's what it does. I was lucky enough to get a lock picking, which you can also set your doors on your personal houses and stuff like this um, to lock. They would have to have it popped up that you have to have level 3 lock picking in order to get in. I don't know if that means that players are going to be able to lock pick your houses. It would appear so, but I thought that there a lot, pretty much all. I don't know if all, but a large number of the ones from Fallout 4 that were on your chart that you could put points into were cards, and there were a couple of new ones I didn't really recognize. I thought that was kind of cool that they kind of livened things up and did that. I do like the new system. I didn't think I was going to, but I actually kind of do. It makes you get out there. It gives you and the reward for leveling feels a little better. It feels like you've earned it. And getting the cards and mixing and matching, changing stuff up is also really kind of cool, because depending what you wanted to do for the day, or maybe the potential area that you're going into, or the group that you're going to be part of, you could definitely change things up and do some fun stuff. So I thought that was cool. Oh, gotta turn that off. Fixing your guns, doing stuff like this, also felt very immersive. I was lucky enough to get a couple of really good guns. I got a really good shotgun and a really good 308 that I didn't want to let go. They were upgraded. I mean, they were for my level, and I was able to use them, but they had a lot of really, really cool upgrades. And those kind of carried the day for me all over the place. I'm not even going to try to pretend that I had wound up running out of aluminum, so I couldn't really fix them anymore. So I had to kind of move on to bolt action, and I went with a little bit of melee. The melee is melee. It still felt the same. Melee in Fallout always kind of felt like it was. I understand it's based on the weapon speed and all this. It just always feels kind of slow to me. Like it doesn't do a whole lot as compared to a gun. But using a pickaxe or a fire axe or a scythe to kind of hack somebody apart was kind of a nice touch. I thought that it was kind of cool. It kind of, it kind of felt cool when you'd injure them, they'd start limping, and they'd, hold their arm against their chest because, you beat the hell out of them a little bit. So, even that felt a little different and new and kind of cool. But you definitely want to balance resources with, making sure that you hold on to stuff to fix weapons and armor and whatnot. And I did get a couple of cool armor pieces. I wound up killing a level 15 legendary super mutant, and I did see something kind of interesting. There's like I ran into it with scorpions. The scorpion was the first one I saw it with. There's like regular scorpion, and then there was a diseased scorpion. I thought that was kind of unique. I didn't get any mutations off of anything, but I did get a parasite. I did get a disease, and I had a cure for it immediately. But then wound up getting it again from fighting blood bugs, and I was not able to cure the second one. And basically what kind of happens with that is that the parasite drains your blood, so you take damage. But after, I think it was maybe about 15-20 minutes, felt like 15-20 minutes, it just kind of fell off. The parasites, I guess, got sick of feeding on you and went and found someplace else to go have a free lunch. But picking up, you learn upgrades from breaking weapons. I learned a ton of upgrades. I just never had a whole lot of mats to be able to get at a lot of the upgrades for weapons. So it's definitely worth breaking old weapons, like even melee weapons. because the vendors, until you get the perks to start getting better deals from vendors, it's very minimal. Like the money that you're going to get from vendors is very minimal. Um, Vendors are in kind of different, different places. The train station that had usually one table, a crafting table, or your storage box, usually had a vendor in it. So you could buy and sell from that guy, which was kind of helpful. If you're not worried about mats and you're just worried about getting caps, then just sell what you get. I was able to I had a nice little system going on, making a few hundred it actually made a few hundred caps for me. Just fighting super mutants, waiting for a little cycle of fighting super mutants, and going back to the same spots over and over again. I had a 4 or 5 little areas rotation that I would go to, get some decent guns, because they all had short rifles, and short rifles I was getting 4 or 5 caps a pop, depending on their condition and their level. But super mutants also dropped caps, so I earned a few hundred caps, about 300 caps in a relatively short amount of time, just farming the super mutants, on top of potentially getting better weapons. I wound up getting a couple of star weapons. I got a handgun, and there was something else, a rifle. So the stuff is out there. It's just putting the work in to go ahead and get it. So that's all I really have to say on that. You're able to make all your ammo, any kind of ammo you can make. Thankfully, you can make all kinds of grenades. I did get a crossbow, but I didn't actually get a chance to use it. But you can make crossbow arrows, and most of the ammo is made in stacks of 5 off of the mats that you have to provide for, that you're told you need. So that was kind of a cool bonus. The syringe gun is back. Didn't actually get a chance to fire it and use it, but I did have a bunch of ammo for it. So we'll get this. I don't think I'm supposed to be over here. I think this is over here. Yeah. So all in all, I thought it was a pretty quality game. I thought it was a good game. There's a lot of stuff going on in it that I don't know the look of it, the way the Scorched talk, like the history of the Scorched. I thought that was very interesting, and that's really the other thing that I liked being solo. That when you got a note, or you got a holotape, or you're just reading some of the computer terminals, because running around with other people, you're going to miss that stuff if you're not right with them. So it was interesting, getting a little bit of the backstory on the giant flying fire-breathing bat, and how the Scorched came to be, and why the areas are the way that they are. How the some of the factions came to be. So I think they did a really good job on it, lore-wise, for the game. Seeing the Garthan beast was kind of interesting. I'm not even going to try to pretend that I didn't almost shit myself. I was terrified when I saw that thing. I was like, oh god, I'm dead. This is the end. But I don't know, just based off of what I saw, the graphics are a little, I don't know if they're really optimized as much as they could be, but there's not much you can really do. It was beta, but still it did look really, really good. You will be running around, you'll be on the road, and there's a group of Scorched. I thought it was very interesting that they would scream like random phrases, and watching them fire guns while they kind of break off into like different formations, doing their little tactic stuff, I thought was kind of interesting. I was more mesmerized by the fact that these zombie-looking things actually could fire guns, yell, random phrases at me, and shoot guns. I thought it was kind of interesting. Um, but yeah, and there definitely are different leveled areas. It was kind of scary to be running around and then all of a sudden, you're getting chopped up by gunfire or watching something spit acid from you that actually really did hurt a lot. I thought that was kind of interesting. So I hope the game does make it. I hope that people give it a chance. I hope that people play it, and I hope that Bethesda continues to put the hard work into it that they have put into it. And if anybody does have any questions, feel free to message me. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. We're going to go in here, I think. Based off of some of the stuff that, like I said, I did do. Oh, that was supposed to happen. Actually, I'm probably not going to regret anything, but thanks for telling me. Did we find it? Yeah, we found him. There you are, buddy. Okay, so we got the first guy. Captain Fancy Pants. It's not him up there, is that? No. I doubt I'm going to regret this. There you go. You slow down and think about what you did before you make things worse. Oh, he is. Alright, so that's enough of that business. Okay. Yep. Oh, here they come running from below. Alright. That's the end of you. Alright, back to the harbor. There's something else I'm going to be doing today. I'm also going to be doing some expeditions on my Demon Hunter tank. Portal meet with Zeliger. Okay. I'm also going to maybe run a key or two. But I am also going to go out and go rare hunting. Not sure what part of any of that business I'm going to actually stream. Um, I know I'm going to stream the expeditions. Beyond that, not really sure. I'm, I am going to probably play some Vermintide, and I actually did start Wreckfest. I would highly, highly, highly recommend Wreckfest. It is a fun game. I realize that how fun can actually be, driving around in circles, but there are a lot of different tracks. There's a lot of different stuff going on there. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. I did have some problems though with it running. It was kind of odd how the aspect ratio was acting very weird. It kept wanting to play in like this small windowed mode. But I think I figured out the problem after about a half an hour of messing around with it. It's kind of irritating, but I think I fixed it. So I'm going to show some of that. I did move on to the second circuit. I've bought a couple of cars, upgraded them, done some fun stuff like that. I do need to go back into Fade to Silence and get some of that business done. So I know that there's been some updates, patches, stuff like this that I haven't checked out yet, since I was stuck on that one thing that I figured was probably bugged. Oh, no you won't. Shut up. Here, hold on while I get this book, buddy. Thank you. Alright, Curio and one more mage and key. For Caltiris, yay! I know that one guy is around here someplace. Oh yeah, there he is. That's what I was looking for. Aw. Alright, we'll get the Curio. That didn't work out like I thought it was going to. Alright, we'll get this turned in. Yeah, everything is slain. I don't know why it's not. Aid. Okay. Well, come on, let's go, dude. Nice one. All right. Return to Nathos. Let's go. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, where'd you go? Alright. Nope, that's not it. There it is. I'll talk to... Let's get out of here. I kind of like this cutscene. It's kind of cool. And that should be it. And I get her. Go team. Go back to Dalaran. And I don't know how many people actually watched or attended BlizzCon this past weekend. I can personally tell you I didn't watch it, and I have always consistently bought it. I'm definitely one of those that's not thrilled about Diablo Immortal. It seems that they've taken kind of a page out of Snail Games and Wildcard. And just kind of done an asset flip, and off we go to the races. I realize that there's a lot of money in mobile gaming, but in the long run, Diablo was not made on mobile gaming. It was made by PC players. With that said, I understand that things evolve, things change, but again, didn't watch the video, the reveal video, didn't watch any of the presentation. It just sounds weird playing Diablo on your phone. It just doesn't. And I wasn't real thrilled with whoever that guy was, the developer, saying, "Well, everybody has a phone, right? Well, everybody has a hammer, but that doesn't mean you're going to hit yourself in the head with it." That doesn't make any sense. I understand what he's saying, but that doesn't mean that it's why people have Xboxes and PlayStations and all this other, and people have PCs to play games. I don't know if he's ever heard of these things, but Why would you want Diablo on a phone? Just sounds weird. That offends anybody. Sorry, but I don't get it. And there's Ready for War. And I don't know, I'm kind of split down the middle on Warcraft 3 being remastered. I'm not buying it. That's not happening. $40 to get the what you call it mount, the meat slinger mount. I know that's not what it's called, but for better use of better ideas, I'm not down with that. I'm about down with that as the people a year ago that paid $60 for Destiny 2 just to, have it sent to PC players for free, just for opening a gift box in their launcher until November 18th. I don't know. I don't see a lot of people being real thrilled about that. Yeah, it's $40 for all the expansions, but I don't see myself playing it. Not after all the bad press it got. So, yeah, that's pretty much my stance on those things. Probably should have just stayed in order to go turn that stuff in, to go fly a boot. Not the dungeons, the island expeditions. But, well, I can always go back. Ruin has come. Huh. Okay. Gotta go take care of that, I guess. Alright, well, I'm going to stop this here. I'll be back in a little while. I'm going to get some lunch. This has been Helldozer Zombie Land Gaming. If you see something you like, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon.